In Randburg, Johannesburg today. Let's continue now with our news coverage. Gauteng officials say they will go to court to force closure of companies that fail to comply with lockdown regulations. David Makura was visiting the BMW and Nissan manufacturing plants in Rosslyn, where compliance was assessed. Mobile Madlala is following that story for us. She joins us now live. So, Mobile, first, tell us exactly what the Premier is looking for during these inspections.
Well, Shahan, really simply, it's a compliance under level 4 regulations. So just simple things like, is the company providing the personal protective equipment? Do they have things like gloves and so on? And they were looking at whether or not the 30% rule of staff is really just been adhered to. And also at the same time, they're looking at social distancing in the industry, in the factory. So these are basically the things that they were looking for, and it was demonstrated really because when we began at the BMW plant, we were introduced to other innovative ideas. We saw they had a mobile software which you subscribe to using your own phone. It's really just free of charge. Now this software basically tracks in case of your travel, your contacts, so more of tracking and tracing to make sure that you haven't been exposed. And it's the same software that you use when you go in to get screened, and you punch in basically what you got from the screening. And then of course if it's over 37.5% temperature level, then you go on to a doctor who's in the clinic at the same plant. So these were basically the things that the Premier and the MEC of Health were basically looking at. Just the emphasis again on you are taking care of your staff and you have the 30% compliance as expected. But let's just hear to what the Premier had to say about it.
This week and next week, we are making a readiness assessment. We are assessing which sectors of the economy in Gauteng are in full compliance. They have put in place all the measures that will enable us as a province to move to the next level. It's not just the economy, but it is also hotspots in our communities. We are also dealing with those. Yes, we refuse to take an approach that says put the economy over public health or the health and safety of people. We say we care about the health and safety of our people. We also care about the economy.
Yeah. So the Premier also by Gauteng's health MEC. What's he looking for?
Well, there are a lot of things, Shahan, that he was looking for. In fact, he did explain that there will be harsh sentences for those that do not listen. But there were good news also that came out of that tour. We saw along the lines there that the people at BMW and Nissan just confirmed by the Premier saying that there won't be any job losses. So great news there. And also we saw that there's a potential hospital that could be built with, of course, the two giants assisting with the funding. And also when we then spoke to the MEC, he did say, like I said earlier on, that there will be harsh sentence for the people that do not comply. Let's just listen to him.
If they don't comply, and they don't put up the measures, then it just means that they will be out of business, and I think we will actually close them down because OHS becomes a big aspect of our work going forward as part of the work of the Department of Health. So what has COVID-19 pandemic has done to us, it has just brought forward the aspects that public health should be looking at, which relates to occupational health and safety.
All right, we're going to leave it right there.